Listen, hasn't my advice worked for you already? You've watched me on YouTube, maybe you're inside of Adonis School, you've tried the stuff that I've said, and everything fucking works, right? I have maybe the best track record of any influencer, YouTuber, doctor, therapist you have personally ever encountered. When you follow my advice, it works. That's why you're watching this today. You can put your trust into that, right? So can you just turn your fucking brain off and literally just do as I say for this goal of making 10K? And if you just fucking stop this stupid ass intellectual, critical thinking of questioning everything and just turn your brain off, act like a fucking robot, execute on the plan that I'll set for you just for like 2 weeks, and I promise, or like let's say like 1 month, I will promise you will make the most progress in your business by far. Mark my words here now, guys with low testosterone. There's a fucking mosquito here, but fuck you. Mark my words, right? Guys with low testosterone who've got skinny necks and gay fucking hair, they're not gonna like what I'm about to say. The single thing that is gonna stop a guy like you from achieving the first few $1,000s in business is critical thinking. Critical thinking is where you question things, and it sounds like a really good. Fuck you, bro. Come back here. I've been getting bit like by all these fucking mosquitoes. Fuck you, come on. No, I didn't get it. I got bit like crazy by a bunch of mosquitoes at nighttime. Got them all over my hands and stuff, and there's one more left. I've killed like 4 of them already. I was gonna do some psychopathic shit. I wanted to grab one to send a message and then get my mouth tape and get it so I could stick it to the mouth tape, but it's still like fucking wriggling, and then leave it outside so the ants will come and get it slowly. Oh god, I'm fucked in the head, bro. But I was like, you know what? I think that might send a message to these motherfuckers, because mosquitoes are fucking annoying, bro. Literally, imagine being in your own room and you're just getting covered in fucking bites. Like I've got like, I don't know if you'll be able to see that. Yeah, you can just see. I've got like that, but like I've got some on my face and shit, and like it fucking stings. Like my existence is just painful for the last like 24 hours because like I left my balcony open. But yeah, I don't see this one. I'll try and kill it again if it comes. But listen, what guys who are intelligent but autistic and retarded, they really appreciate something called critical thinking, which you probably do. You're a content consumer. You're basically, no offense at all, but I just want to be honest with you. You're basically like an autistic overthinker, right? It's the kind of people you attract when you post content tutorials. Normal guys who aren't overthinkers don't watch this kind of content because they're just stupid enough to like go and navigate life randomly, and then they always end up poor. But the kind of guy that you are more likely to question things. And that can be awesome eventually. When you're making tens of thousands of dollars, when you've got happy, healthy children, when you have your dream physique and you've been training for 10 years, yeah, by all means, then question things because you've got, because then you can question things because you've already got experience and you've got your knowledge, and that's awesome. Now you actually know, okay, here's what works for me, here's what doesn't work. Right here, right now, if you're being honest, your results, especially in business, are pretty pathetic. So can you just see on my side here, does it actually make sense for you to use any of your brain to think about business? Your brain has kept you at this point where you've probably made no money or no serious money. My brain has made infinitely more than yours. If you've made $1 in business, I am at 1,000,000 times, or even more than about maybe 1.5 or 2 million multiplies from you. Can you just turn your brain off? Just try what I'm gonna tell you step by step. Instead of questioning it like a gay little overthinker who like studies fucking, philosophy and this shit. And philosophy's fine, but you get my point. Instead of being like some fucking skinny neck critical thinker who's like, actually I disagree. If you disagree, if you write a comment, or if you're watching this thinking, oh, I disagree, you better be fucking rich already, because if you're not making money and you disagree, you're fucking insane to not take someone's advice who's further along than you because you think it's wrong even though you've got no results. So that means if you've got no real results in business, can you just fucking try what I'm about to say for 1 month? Turn your brain off. It doesn't matter what your perception to the advice is. It doesn't matter what you think is going to happen. Just fucking do exactly as I say, and you'll be on the most progress you've ever made. So here's how to make your first 10K. The product you're going to sell is a low ticket course, which is going to be anywhere from $47 to $197 within that price range. The younger you are and the less experienced you are, make it closer to $47. So for example, if you're 16 years old watching this and you've been doing the topic, which we'll talk about in a second, for like a couple of months, then you might make it 47. If you're more like 21 years old and you've been working on your niche for like 5 years, you've been going to the gym and you're going to sell like a fitness product, then you might make it like 197, but within 47 to 97, that's the price range. The first point that you might not know, but a lot of people who've kind of researched business will say is, wait, why that price range? Because every other entrepreneur told me that I should sell high ticket. What you need to understand, and here's where my big dick ego is going to come in, all those entrepreneurs don't understand our boys even 1% as much as I do. If you take every fucking entrepreneur on the internet, even the ones who appeal to young men like our demographic, I still understand you 100 times more than they do. Why? Because they're trying to sell you a product. I've saved guys from killing themselves. I've went on thousands of one-to-one calls and heard the problems of our demographic. So I understand our people 100 times more than the other entrepreneurs who have been telling you like, oh, sell high ticket. Basically what that means is everyone else on the internet is telling you, no, don't sell anything that's cheap. Sell something that's like $1,000 or $2,000. There's a problem with that advice because they're usually used to advising mid-25 guys, 30-year-old, 40-year-old business owners, and they're telling them like, oh yeah, it doesn't make sense for you to sell like a low ticket product, and it makes more sense for you to sell a high ticket because it's easier and you get better customers and you only need like less customers to make a good deal of money. What they're not really taking into account, like for a young person, let's say you're about 20 years old, for you to sell high ticket and sell something for $1,000 or $2,000 as like a beginner is pretty ridiculous. Let's say you're an outstanding young man and you got the best grades in your entire country in like the mathematics year 11 exam, whatever. Then that's so special that fine, you could even charge $1,000 because some like rich kid's parents will pay for it. But I'm assuming you're a bit more of like my demographic, which is of guys who, for example, weren't really anything special in high school, kind of slacked off, and then now it's like you're on self-improvement, you've been meditating, going to the gym, you've got some pretty good accomplishments, but you're not outstanding in anything just yet. Outstanding, by the way, would be like you've been put on newspapers for it. You're a young prodigy of like a certain topic, or you've been able to, like achieve something very incredible, not just like, oh yeah, I killed it, what the fuck? What the hell? That's a dead ass fucking mosquito with its leg twitching down there. Fuck you. I just saw a random fucking next to my laptop. I was like, what the fuck? Yeah, I must have killed it before. Sorry about that. Getting interrupted by this stupid ass mosquito. Fuck you. I fucking hate mosquitoes, bro. I think there's one more as well, to be honest. So let's say you're like part of our normal demographic. You got on self-improvement maybe 6 months ago, 1 year ago. And your biggest accomplishment in life right now is what? Maybe your physique, maybe that you quit like porn or something, right? But you're still a young guy. And even though that, let's say you've quit porn, you aren't like a master at getting people to quit porn. You've been able to do it, or maybe it's getting into the gym, whatever topic it is. You've been able to do it. But if we're honest, and you are like, you should pat yourself on the back for achieving that. But if we're honest, you don't really have a clear system yet. You haven't helped tens or hundreds of people to achieve that. Like, bearing in mind, there's professional like bodybuilders and fitness coaches who sell programs for like $5 or $10, and they really struggle to get guys results in fitness as well. You might have gotten results in fitness, which is nice, but you're not at the level where you are like amazing at getting other people, right? Otherwise, like, just be honest, your entire family would be jacked and healthy, right? Let's say if the niche you could sell a product in was fitness. If your entire family is jacked and healthy because of you, and if every friend that you've spoke to is now jacked and healthy because of you, and if your girlfriend or every girl you're speaking to gets into the gym and actually makes real progress, then at that point you're at a level where you're like, yeah, I can get people to get fit. That's powerful. But for most guys watching this, if you'll just be honest, and this is no disrespect, you're probably on one of the beginning levels where You've made some pretty good progress. You're maybe not jacking your little pee-pee as much. You're maybe going to the gym more often. You've probably got some like decent muscle mass. You've meditated a bunch of times. That's awesome. Those are awesome things. But it's not that amazing compared to what other people are selling. Your advice is not going to be that effective. You selling high ticket right now just does not make sense. It makes more sense for you to sell something that is low ticket and also something that is passive so that you can work more on the constraints, which to get to 10K is not the quality of the product, but simply just the amount of traffic that you get. That's it. To get to 10K a month, it's so fucking easy. Fuck you. You see that one? Sorry about this, bro. I keep getting distracted, but like I got bit to shit by these motherfuckers and I'm gotta kill this last one. Yeah, to get to 10K a month is actually really fucking easy if you just follow this advice. So, fuck you. Come on, just stop and come here for a second. This is very unprofessional, bro. I apologize. This is what you need to do. So we're going to sell a low ticket course, $47 to $197, and it's going to be on one clear topic that you've made pretty good progress in. So just think to yourself right now, what's the topic that you've made pretty good progress, that you could help someone else? What is also, by the way, one of the things that I help when I go on calls with my students and we talk about this topic is which angle that they are more suited towards. So right now, just for right now, write down what you think the topic of like the course could be. Maybe you've made good progress in NoFap, so it's on that, whatever. But now also think to yourself, what is the angle, the archetype, the stereotype that you could fit into, which is pretty attractive? Now this might be pretty difficult because I've not found anyone who can do this for themselves. It's usually when they come on a call with me that I can basically tell them what it is for them, which by the way, if you join Adonis School, I can do that for you. But let's just say, if right now you're watching this and you look like a TikTok boy, you look like, like a pretty handsome young guy, you've got like shaven face, pretty face with nice hair, and you've got a good physique, then that's what the archetype that we would lean into. Imagine if that fit you and you really look like a TikTok boy already. You'd call your course like the TikTok physique, the TikTok body. And that's what you would lean into. If you're a young guy and let's say you've done a lot of work on like looks maxing and fucking mewing and squinting and whatever, then you'd lean into that of like, okay, looks maxing as a young guy. Let's say you don't fit the archetype of like a TikTok boy, but you're brown and you've also done some looks maxing. Then suddenly it's like looks maxing as a brown guy. That's an attractive angle. Do you get my point? But let's say that you haven't done much looks maxing. Then it doesn't make sense for you to lean into that. Let's say right now you're a Chinese guy and you wear glasses and you're pretty smart. Lean into that. Like that's the stereotype. Like lean into like the nerd stereotype who can memorize things and who's really productive. People want to see their stereotypes being fulfilled. Honestly, it makes people like way more attracted towards you. So you want to lean into the kind of personality, like the special thing about you. So the way to explain this is, look, to find out your archetype, imagine this. Imagine the topic of bulking. Bulking is where you eat more to get big in bodybuilding, right? Can you think of the two types of people who would fit that archetype really well? Imagine if someone was going to talk about bulking on YouTube and you saw a picture of them in the thumbnail. What would you want to see? Imagine if someone was going to say like, here's my bulking story or bulking day one. What would you want to see? Think about what would be really attractive. There's two types. It would be one, an absolute massive bodybuilder, Sam Sulek, right? Big guy. Because when he talks about bulking, he's super credible and experienced. So you're like, oh, sweet. If this guy's bulking, he's going to teach me loads of things. And here's the interesting thing. You know, the other kind of person who would be really attractive for that niche, a really, really, really skinny guy. Because when he says, imagine if you saw like a really skinny guy and the title of the video was like bulking day one. That's actually attractive as fuck, right? That's so attractive, right? Because it's like, you know, it's wholesome. He can definitely make some progress. It'll be inspiring to watch it. Now, here's the interesting thing. Imagine any guy in the middle. Imagine a guy who's just like pretty good size. Suddenly it's not as attractive, right? It's like, even though it's probably more relatable to you, let's say you've got like a pretty like normal size physique, you know, super skinny or super big. And you saw a guy who had a physique kind of the same size as yours, called bulking day one. So we've got three options. We've got the big mass monster like Sam Sulek, we've got the really, really skinny guy, and we've got a guy who's most like you. You would assume the guy who's most likely you would actually click on, you know, with his physique, but you would actually be more interested in the big guy or the really skinny guy because it's just more entertaining and inspiring to watch those guys. Do you see how even the power of relatability is one step lower than leaning into your archetype and the stereotype? And then preferably the guys who you click on, like the big guy or the really skinny guy, if they've got something which is still relatable to you, like they're from the same country as you, they have the same kind of hairstyle or the same kind of structure or parents, or their voice sounds similar, whatever, then you'll be very likely to like really commit to one of those YouTubers. So take a second right now and try and figure out what could be a special archetype for you. Do you look like a bit like a nerd? Then you want to lean into that. We had a student, for example, inside of Adonis School, and he was posting videos on like bulking, and that was like kind of his niche. And I said to him, I told him that example of the big guy and the skinny guy, and I said, it doesn't really fit for you. Like you're about 70 or 80 kilograms. It's not special. There's nothing special about you talking about bulking. So then we spoke more, and then we realized like this guy was pretty, like, no offense, but pretty working class in, you know, from UK, not rich at all. And his dream was to become a pro fighter and to get into the UFC. And I told him exactly what to do. I said, make a playlist, like a new series called Journey to the UFC, and show your life right now and then talk about your ambitions, because that's what's attractive for you. And he did it, and now he gets like 1,000 or even 2,000 views per video every single day as a small YouTuber. So once you find your archetype, you can really lean into it. So we have the rough topic, which is going to be something that we've made progress in. And then we want to find which archetype we can kind of like, which stereotype we can kind of fulfill. If you feel like there's two topics that you could talk about, so for example, you have made good progress in fitness and in NoFap as well, or fitness and in reducing your screen time, then lean more into what stereotype you could fit into. So for example, I spoke to another student just a few days ago, and he was debating between both of those topics, which was fitness and also reducing screen time, getting away from distractions, and he didn't know which one to kind of narrow in, and he was wondering if he should do both. And I said, no, don't do both, just have one. And I asked him for more details of his life. Turns out he's in the military. So which one do you think I told him to do? I said, lean into like the military fitness. Do you see, like, do you get what I'm saying here? Like, then I said to him, look, a guy in the military talking about screen time is like, yeah, it could be interesting, but like not really, right? What would be the ultimate best person ever to talk about screen time? Can you think of? Probably like a monk, right? If you're a monk, then that would be cool as fuck. Imagine if they're like, just imagine that YouTube thumbnail, a monk literally sat there in a fucking monastery, and the title is How to Reduce Screen Time. You're like, holy fuck, that's like a clickable video, right? But if it's just like a random dude, he's like 20 years old, it's like, okay, here we have another fucking self-improvement YouTuber. I'm bored as fuck, right? But for this guy, he's in the fucking military. I told him, wear the uniform, record some videos. Now when you see a video which is like complaining about, like, you know, America's obesity crisis, and it's by a guy in military uniform, you're thinking, oh, that's cool as fuck, right? That fits the archetype, like the stereotype that we're going in. Do you see like what we're getting at here? Do you see how nice this is? Because it just helps you to have that special sauce on your videos. It's just like for example, let's say looks maxing. There's two types of people that you'd want to watch when they talk about looks maxing. There's the super, super attractive guy who's done the looks maxing. He's got the gay little hair and, you know, the cute face and nice physique, right? You'd listen to him because he's credible. But then there's also one other person who, if they had a video about looks maxing, you'd want to watch. And it's like a really ugly guy. Because you just get why, right? Because it's like, if it's like a mid-tier guy, yeah, it's kind of relatable, but it's kind of like, it's kind of boring. But if you see a guy, let's say, who's got the same race as you, but he's pretty fucking ugly, and he has a video titled like Looks Maxing Day 1, My Journey of Looks Maxing. Do you see how attractive that is? Because it's someone who, like, he fits the sort of appealing package of this topic. because he's such a beginner that it's actually so wholesome to watch him. So it's not so much like if you're a beginner in it, but it's finding the topic that's right for you. For the guy who I spoke to who was in the military, the topic that was right for him, it was fitness. And I told him, put a military spin into it, talk like an army general. For the guy who I spoke to when his debate was between like bulking and fitness and MMA, I told him like bulking doesn't really suit you because you're already at like a pretty decent size. It's not attractive for you to talk about it now. If you were super skinny, I would understand that. If you were massive, I would understand that. But for you, the physique doesn't matter, but like the journey to UFC, especially showing the house you're in right now, the car that you can afford and stuff, that's inspiring as fuck to see a guy who's young, who has like a shitty little car, which he doesn't like, he appreciates and stuff, but you get my point. And then it's his dreams of becoming a pro fighter. Like that, you see how that's attractive. So you've got it right here, right now. Just sit and think about your archetype. If you want help with this, join a Donna school if you want, whatever. Then once you've got like the topic that you could probably make a course on and you've started leaning in on your archetype, literally all you have to do is get up a sales page and then just spam videos and content on the niche of your course. So we need to go and make a course, right, which we're going to sell for $47 or $197. A course is literally just basically a playlist of YouTube videos that you'll upload to a website like Kajabi, Thinkific, Teachable, those kinds of websites. They'll charge you like $50 a month and you upload like the video course there, and then people can buy it right on that website as well. How do you make a course? Basically just narrow down what advice and knowledge you need to teach to someone to get them to the results that you got to, but faster. So for example, if your claim to fame is getting to day 90 of NoFap, because that could literally be a $50 course, by the way. If you've gotten to day 90 before, that's literally like the name of your course is like day 90 or 90 days, my 90-day course, whatever. What you do is you include videos, so you just press record on your phone or your camera, where you give advice that you've really sat down to think, okay, what do I need to say to get the person who's watching this to the achievement, like the destination, like 90 days of NoFap or the pretty hair or whatever it is you're helping people with, faster than I got there. What mistakes that I made that they shouldn't make, and what things actually worked for me that they should just focus on instead. So you'll have like an intro module where you'll say like, oh, thank you for, buying, and this is going to help, and here's like some motivation. It really helped me, and now once I got to day 90, I can levitate and I can do this cool stuff, and it's awesome. Then you start having like the video meet where you explain, okay, here's how NoFap actually works. It's not like how everyone says, and I got this insight this one day when I did this, and here's my story, and I struggled, whatever. Then you start giving like real tactics of like, okay, so here's exactly what you need to do to achieve this goal. You need to do this, and not this, but this. You need to do this and this and this, whatever. You'll start explaining like, okay, how do you get to the goal that they wanted? Then that can be a couple of modules. It's a few hours long in total. And then to make it more spicy, you just add bonus modules, which aren't necessarily on the exact same topic, but more rather what they might want on the side or after it. So what I mean by this is the first course I ever sold, which is why I'm suggesting you to make this product, because it's what I did and it's what worked for me. And I went from basically poor to like $15,000 a month passively for years afterwards, was a course on the aesthetic body. But basically kind of like the TikTok physique, but this was like before TikTok was even really a thing. And I had that physique, so I just made a course on it. So I made a course that was about 5 hours long of me just talking about what you needed to do to build this physique, what advice online that everyone accepted was wrong, that we shouldn't do, and that I recorded myself doing every exercise that I suggested to do in your workout, but I recorded myself doing it whilst giving tips on like, oh yeah, bring your elbow like back by this, and for this exercise have this degree of incline on the bench press, whatever. Then I also wrote a couple of books, just like on a massive document. I made them into nice looking PDFs, and I included them as a bonus. And then I also went on this app and I made like 40 workout routines. And on the app, you can share a workout routine like with your friends with the link. So I'd get the link and put it inside of a document. So I got to say like, oh, here's a bonus. All the workout routines are included, and you just press one link and it'll open up on your phone, because that's attractive as fucking. Instead of me just having it as text on like a document saying, oh, chest press 3 times 12, I had like, an app that they could download and it would open up on their phone, which is cool as fuck, right? But then I think one of the biggest reasons why my course sold so well was because I did bonus modules on things like, for example, how to take attractive shirtless pictures to get more matches on Tinder and more likes on Instagram. Do you see it? Think about that. My course is about building a good-looking physique. Why do you think they want that? Why do you think the majority of guys would want that? Now, I know some little pussy's going to say, like, oh, actually, I just want it for myself. I don't want it for girls. But deep down, let's be honest, a lot of guys want to use it to attract girls. So I knew that. So I made a bonus module on how to take shirtless pictures for Tinder and how to take shirtless pictures for Instagram, how to go out on nights out and not ruin your physique. And, you know, all these kinds of things where basically I was including what lifestyle I knew these guys wanted to live, and bonus modules on that where I just press record and I just kind of teach a few things. And then that made this course, it was $197, and it was selling like one every 2 days or so. I was getting a sale, which was fucking awesome. And yeah, it changed my life forever, retired my family, all of that, right? So you're making the modules, and then just think to yourself, how can you make this more juicy? Think like who the person is who's going to buy this. What do they really want? Like, it's younger you. What did he want? If the course is on NoFap, explain to him, okay, how to get to a good level of NoFap, just like you did. But then think, okay, for some bonus modules that are like spicy and attractive, what did you want when you were like first struggling with NoFap? Was it, I don't know, a girlfriend? Was it to be more attractive? Was it this? Was it that? Because then you can include some bonus modules where you talk about that as well. And people will, like, when they see your sales page, they'll think, wow, like, this is fucking awesome. Like, I wanted NoFap, and if I'm honest, I also wanted this extra thing that he's mentioned on his page. Like, this is perfect for me. So this should take you a couple days to make. Basically, you'll like get open a document, write down the modules you can think of. So they might be like intro, my story, how NoFap works, the 90-day tactic, the mistakes, whatever. Like, you know, like those, right? Try and use your own mind to think of which modules you'll need for the goal that your customers will have. And then have a couple of bonus modules, maybe 3 to 6 bonus modules. Each module is anywhere from like 10 minutes up to maybe about an hour. And the total time, including the bonuses, is maybe anywhere from like 3 hours to like 6 hours or so. That's a good length for a course, right? Then what you need to do is just go onto one of those websites I mentioned before, like go to like Teachable, create a profile there, upload the video files, and then you'll have a place where you can make like the sales page. And then just make like a basic ass sales page, where basically just go onto ChatGPT and tell it what the program is, tell it the price point, tell it what's included, tell ChatGPT who you're going to sell to, like what kind of person is going to buy this, tell it what kind of person you are, and then ask it to write the sales page for you, maybe like 500 words or 1,000 words. For the picture, like for the main thing, for now I would suggest just put like a picture which kind of symbolizes the goal. So if it's NoFap, it might be like you looking all depressed and then you looking happy. If it's like something about a physique, like your body, then obviously show like body transformation as like the main picture. And then just have it there as like 90-day NoFap transformation, 90-day NoFap course, whatever. $47 up to $197, just based on how much experience you've already got right now. And if I was you, I would start on the lower end of that right now, because the first few sales will give you a lot of motivation, and you can always just increase the price afterwards. So I started mine at $97. After I got 10 sales, I increased it to $197, and then for a year I kept it there. And then a year later, I went in and updated it. I added like an extra 10 modules, added a bunch of extra bonuses, and then I made it $497. So you can slowly increase the price, but I would start on the lower end, because as soon as you get a sale, it's very motivating. So now let's say that's going to take you a few days, but let's just assume you're there. So you thought of the course, you made the course, you set it up for sale, and you have a link to the course. By the way, if you just do that, you're already in the top 1% of entrepreneurs of all time. Because out of 100 people who are looking into entrepreneurship, 99% have got such small testicles that they'll think about it for months without doing anything. It's probably you, by the way. It's so easy to say, oh yeah, the 99%. Well, guess what, motherfucker? You feel nice and productive watching this video. You haven't made the course, have you? You're thinking, oh yeah, I'll make it in the future, but you'll probably get distracted. And what you'll do after this, watching this video, is go and watch a few more videos of other guys who contradict this advice, who suggest for you to do something else, and then you won't take action because you've basically got one fucking testicle. Am I right? You probably assume that's gonna happen, right? So fucking take action on this. Make sure you take action. Make sure you don't watch any more stupid ass fucking entrepreneurship videos of everyone who's disagreeing. Put your trust in me just for a few weeks to see what happens. Like you put your trust in me with my self-improvement videos, and I got you to the point that you wanted. I basically performed fucking miracles to talk to a camera, and I got like 1 million guys into the gym, to meditate, to stop being degenerates, to stop playing video games, to stop jacking off. Like, how fucking amazing is that? It already worked. My advice already changed your life, so just fucking use it here as well. Okay, make a promise. At the very least, don't watch any other business related videos for the next like couple days whilst you're working on this, just because it's gonna fuck your mind. And I know you're gonna be bored, and you're gonna click on another one when you've got like a cute little fucking seed oils in front of you when you're eating, and then your just brain's gonna be all fucked because the other guy suggests something different to me. Just fucking watch this video and take action on it, okay? So you could even pause the video, and if you've got a pair of balls, like if you just do this, grab your hand like this, cup your balls for a second. If there's 2 of them there, then what you will do is you'll pause this video and you'll go and get the course up on a sales page before you continue watching the rest of it. So by now, if you're watching this, you either have a course up on the sales page exactly like I suggested, or you've got one testicle and you're thinking, oh yeah, well, I'll just watch all of it first and then I'll do the thing afterwards, right? That's exactly why you're gonna fail. Why would you need to watch the next step right now, motherfucker? Why would you need to watch the next step? In a quest in a video game, do you just jump steps? No. So what? You're fine with me insulting you and calling you that you have one testicle? Stop fucking watching the video. Press pause. Go do the whole thing. Like don't fucking just go consume more content, dickhead. Get your journal out. Figure out what the stereotype is for you, the archetype. Figure out what the course will be, the price point you're gonna start it at, what modules will be included, and just go fucking make them. You do realize you can literally make it today. Like, imagine how productive you're gonna feel at nighttime when you made an entire fucking course in one day. Just line out the modules, write down a few points that you'll talk about in each of the modules, so spend like a solid hour kind of like, not writing hundreds of points because it's better if you go like free flow a little bit, but you write down maybe 3 points that you really wanna cover in each of the modules. This should take you about an hour. Then just press record and just fucking get it done. It's a good few hours of recording. Guess what, motherfucker? I do it too. It hurts your throat. So I've done it as well. I've recorded for like 6 hours, 8 hours in one day. If you did that, oh, but Hamza, it's already 5 p.m. I wouldn't have time, so I'll just start on the weekend. Fuck you. Fuck you, pussy. Just fucking do at least a little bit now so you've started, right? At least get the intro module recorded. That's it. At least get the intro module recorded. If you don't, I know for a fact you're gonna fail. Go and do that right now before you continue watching this video. So by watching this video right now, you've already got it, or you're just thinking, yeah, you know, Hamza's like being a bit of an asshole. I'm not gonna fail. Yes, you are. Right, intro module is recorded. Go onto the websites that I listed and go, there's no fucking affiliate link or anything. Just go fucking sign up to one of those websites. Teachable, Kajabi, Thinkific. Stop being a little fucking like little middle-class American frugal motherfucker. Like, actually, this one's $5 less. It doesn't fucking matter. Just choose one. Teachable or something. Choose one. Doesn't fucking matter. $5 is nothing. Stop being a pussy. Sign up to it. Set it up. Get ChatGPT. Make the copywriting, like the sales page text. Upload the picture. Add the first module. You're already literally in the top 1%. If you just do that, there's so many guys watching this thing and yeah, I'm in the top 1%, and they haven't even fucking done it, bro. I can't believe how many fucking guys ask me for advice and they just don't even work, bro. Holy fuck. You're just here to consume. If you want to be like those guys, there's one testicle man. Go take action first, and now let's continue, right? So at this point, we've got the sales page set up, we're making the course, and we've started to upload the files to the website. So it's getting set up now. Now what we just need to do, really, is just send people to this sales page link. That's it. So now all we're gonna do is spam content on the niche of the course. So people will often ask me, wait, do I have to just talk about the course like NoFap? Because I want to talk about something else like reducing screen time. And I tell them, listen, let's get you to like 1K first, maybe 1K, 2K. just on this topic, because this topic is still purposeful for you. It's that, yeah, sure, there's other topics you want to talk about, but this topic is still like, it still is like a meaningful, fulfilling, purposeful thing for you to talk about and to help people with. Let's rinse that out for a little bit, get you some motivation first, and then you can broaden out in the future and start ruining your business if you want to. But for now, post on niche. What that means is you restrict the content that you post to be just on the topic of the course, just for now. When you already make pretty good money and you're making 1, 2, 3, 4, 5K a month passively from this course, then by all means, bro, start another channel where you can talk about anything you want. Don't post it to the same channel. You need to have one channel where all you post is the topic of the course, okay? Just fucking believe me here. There's so many guys who are like, oh man, I've already got 100 subscribers from this fucking channel where I've posted the equivalent of like Andrew Tate shorts. Can't I stay because 100 subscribers is better than 0? I'm like, motherfucker, who has millions of subscribers here? Can't you just fucking listen, man? Can't you just fucking listen? Your subscribers mean fucking nothing. You, by all means, have like a general channel that you just post for fun. Okay, you feel like talking about this topic and this topic and this topic, post to that channel. Have a channel where you only ever post about this niche. If that means you have to start a new one, then fucking start a new one. But most YouTubers have 2 to 3 channels. It just makes more sense that you have like a clean platform that only attracts viewers of like a certain interest. So have a clean platform. Now, if you've already got like a fairly new channel, you've got like 6 subscribers and 2 videos, then yeah, sure, post it because it's so new, it's fine. You post it on that one. But every video that you post on this channel should be on the topic of your niche, right? Every single video. What we're going to start to do now is post a bunch of content on the topic of our course, and inside of that video we're just going to mention that we've got a program that'll help people. Click the link in the description. Now, the kind of content that you post is going to be different from what you might imagine, because most guys, the problem is they try and post content kind of like me when I was already like 5 years or even up to like 10 years in my experience of topics. So for example, in like dating and fucking, which was a big topic of mine on my main channel, I was like 6 years in with basically full-time training, right? I was spending hours every day learning dating, seduction, sex, and everything. So I can make a video how to text girls and people will watch it because they know that Hamza fucks. It's as simple as that. Let's say if your topic is like dating as well, but you are a bit of a virgin, even if you're not, but let's just say you are, like you look like one, you've got the energy of one. Let's be honest, you kind of do. You making a video how to text girls just feels like an insult to me if I fucking click on it. Why the fuck am I gonna take advice from you on that? Most guys will take one look at you, the fact that you're not like a big YouTuber or anything like that, and just find it cringe that you're making like a how-to video. So instead, here's what you do. You make videos just about yourself. So it's how I. So let's say yours is dating, and let's say the archetype, remember like what we said, like the stereotype for you is that you look a bit like a nerd, like a loser, right? You were just a loser just a few months ago. This was a conversation I had last night with, again, one of my students, and we thought his stereotype is like dating as a loser. And I said to him, even when you feel like you're not a loser at all because of more self-improvement, keep this same kind of title because you started as one, and it will be inspiring. You'll attract the kind of guys who relate to the term loser, which is going to be perfect for your program. So dating as a loser. So I said to him, okay, well, here's a couple, I gave him a couple of video ideas, and I said, one of them can be, I tried Tinder as a loser. Imagine that. Imagine you just see a thumbnail, which looks like some guy's like shitty little bedroom, and he doesn't look very attractive or anything, and it's him like on his phone. So that's interesting as fuck, right? Suddenly that's really interesting. Then I said another one was like, I cold approached 100 girls in a week as a loser. I did this as a loser, whatever. You see the point? So it's not like how to use Tinder. He doesn't get to make that video just yet. His needs to be how I did this. Here's me and the kind of stereotype I'm leaning into and how I'm doing this thing, which you're trying to do as well. So let's say if your topic is studying and getting a high grade for like some exam, then you can say, okay, how I studied for the 7th grade exam and got A's. How I study as an Indian. That's attractive as fuck. Do you see how adding like as an Indian just makes it 10 times more attractive? Or how I study as an Asian, how I study with autism. Let's say that's like the stereotype you're leaning into and you've got autism or something. Like you're adding that into the title. And so every bit of content you post is on the topic of your course. And inside of the content, you just briefly mention, maybe about halfway through, oh, and by the way, I have a program that will even help you completely. Just go click the top link in the description and go have a look. That's it. Then you finish the video. Oh, and number 7 is this, whatever. So then we're posting content. We're going to start getting some clicks on the link to the sales page. And here's the beautiful thing. You probably need about 200 people to click the link to get a sale. That's probably about what's average. 200 people. That means that in total, you probably need to get anywhere from about 500 to 2,000 views on your content to get a sale. Think about that, it's just maths. To get a sale for the people who clicked the link of your course, you're probably about 200. But that just means a 0.5% conversion rate, which is about average for someone who's like a beginner with like a really cheap product. But then to get 200 people to click the link, you probably need about 1,000 people to like watch the content, and that's 1,000 people overall, not just on one video, by the way. Now it's just your job, like, bro, how fast can you get 1,000 views over your content, right? The content that you mentioned that you've got the link in the description, once you get about 1,000 views overall on like, let's say 5 different videos, they average about 200 each, you're getting a sale. And what's beautiful is you'll get the next sale like the next day because those videos will keep getting views. So now that is already your business setup. And if you literally just do the steps that we said before, you'll be on track to make 10K a month. And this also, by the way, means that your work hours, once you've made the course and it's up on the sales page, your work hours are literally like 5 per week to get to 10K a month. I'm telling you, it's actually depressing of how little you need to work to get to 10K a month. I literally had depression when I hit it because I was so bored and I wanted more work. But it's not even that, like, it's so easy. If you just follow what I said, it's so, you can't believe how easy it is to get to 10K a month. Honestly, it's just like the hardest part is that you have a stupid fucking retarded brain that's gonna disagree with little bits of advice that I gave in this video. But you haven't even made any money, so it's like, how the fuck has your brain even got like a say in this? Like, I'm on your side more than your own brain is here. And you know this is true if you just blindly try what I suggested for the next 2 weeks, for the next 4 weeks, you will see the most progress you've ever made. Now, let's say you can work more. Let's say, for example, you're not in school or anything, and you've got like more like 3 to 5 hours extra per day. How can you speed up the results? The constraint. So once you've got your course up and it's like $47 or $97, it's on a very clear topic, like how to get to day 90 of NoFap, how to build a TikTok boy physique, whatever it is, it's like super clear. It's not just like self-improvement or anything general like that. It's like one topic, right? And then it's also leaning into an archetype that kind of fits for you. Again, it's kind of difficult to figure that out, but if you've got an idea, just lean with that, right? Eventually, if you do join Adonis School, I'll personally help you with that, but that's like a side point, right? Once you've got the course set up and you're starting to make content, it's literally like your work is so simple. You just make videos and mention it. But you're making videos at max 7 times a week, right? On YouTube, you're posting once a day. That will take you about 5 hours. That's it, per week, right? If you've got more time, then what I would suggest is to start maximizing the volume of content on all platforms. So first get to the point where you're posting up to daily on YouTube, which I might not even suggest, by the way. I might suggest about 3 times a week on YouTube, which should take you about 2 hours. You should script a couple of points and then just fucking record and then get it up. If you want to edit, you can do, but I would even suggest not even editing your videos so that your YouTube work will literally take you about like 2 hours. If you mess up in the middle of a video, just fucking keep it in. You saw how I kept like the mosquito in that, was flying around my room and it kept on trying to bite me and stuff. And it's like, yeah, it's kind of annoying. Sometimes you mess up, sometimes life happens and someone knocks on your door. But people, in a weird way, appreciate it because they see like a really human part of you. It feels more like we're having a conversation with like 2 human beings than like a you know, like a corporate fucking YouTuber who's trimmed out anytime he's stuttered and whatever. Editing is just really fucking like stupid for a beginning entrepreneur because it takes so long and it doesn't really make the video better. If anything, most guys who edit their videos to begin with actually make it worse. If you can get a professional editor, yeah, sure, but it's almost a skill to record with an editor. And I would suggest just getting used to recording your videos just as a human being, where if, for example, as a human being to another human being in a conversation, if you stuttered, you'd just say, oh, excuse me, and then you just repeat the sentence. You wouldn't like get halfway through a sentence and then kind of get halfway through a sentence, you know, like say the whole sentence again, like a fucking YouTuber who's kind of messed up the script and has to repeat himself. You just kind of say, oh, excuse me, what I meant to say, whatever. That's it. Like, you know, as a human being, like you end up stumbling your words in a conversation. Sometimes it happens, right? Sometimes there's like nothing to say, so your mind goes blank. That's actually fine as well, as long as you try and level up the skill of, you know, speaking concisely and not yapping and not being so nervous, and stop being like such a pussy who's like just inwardly thinking and start outwardly thinking with like purpose and mission and visualizations and deep breaths. Then you'll just be able to basically record 3 videos, let's say they're 20 minutes each. That's 1 hour of work per week that will get you to 10K a month within probably about 12 months from now. Perfect, right? Amazing. You're literally living top 1% life if you do that. But if you do want to get there faster and make it more like 3 to 6 months, this is what you do. Make the 3 YouTube videos per week, 20-ish minutes each, maybe a bit longer, maybe a bit shorter, unedited. Just fucking deal with it if you mess up and if you sound weird, whatever. Stop being a little pussy. Just press record, talk about whatever the topic of the video is, and get it up, right? By the way, there's some videos you'll have to use editing if you need to show a picture or whatever. Okay, yeah, sure. But a lot of videos that I can imagine that guys watching this will post is just like talking head like this, which is just full of value and education, right? Then what I would suggest is go onto other platforms and start posting onto them. So go on to, for example, and by the way, just a very important note is you'll only post educational content. You will not post entertainment thirst traps. So for example, let's say on YouTube we're posting about you know, day 90 on NoFap. It doesn't make sense then for us to think, oh yeah, I'm gonna grow my Instagram, and then we start posting like bullshit entertainment trends, thirst traps or whatever. We want to post basically the same kind of thing, education on specifically the same topic as our course. So we're basically just repeating ourselves constantly on all platforms. So we'll post the 3 YouTube videos, then let's go to Instagram and make 2 reels per day, which are educational. And the way that I would do this, by the way, what's popping right now is text-based reels, where basically it's a picture which has a tweet on it or a bit of text, but it's actually an Instagram reel, like it's actually a video file, so it uploads as a reel because they get way more reach. And it has no sound, it's just a picture of you in the back and a tweet above it or a bit of text above it where you're teaching something or you're explaining something about your topic. Go have a look at my most recent reels to have an understanding of this. If you go search up on Instagram, Cult Leader Hamza, have a look at some of those reels I've posted. They're slightly different, like I've got music and video videos in some of them, but the ones that do the best is just a picture in the background. You'll get what I mean if you just go have a look at a picture and then with like a bit of text of you teaching something, and then people will share it. It'll get like quite a lot of views. Post 2 of those a day. You can schedule on Instagram as well, so post 2 of those per day. Should take you like, if you can't afford like an editor to put it together or something, it'll take you like a couple of minutes. Do it all on your phone using like CapCut or something, and just spit out 2 of those per day. Whether you write a tweet, screenshot it, move that onto the frame, or maybe you write it on your phone notes, whatever, get like your own little creative style, and then just keep grinding that out. Don't make random silly fucking entertainment thirst trap kind of reels or anything like that. Just post those kinds of educational tweet-based, writing-based ones. Post that twice a day. Then I would probably even log into TikTok and do the exact same thing as that, because the same, like basically I'd take that video, download it, and I'd post the same one onto TikTok, and I'd even post the same one onto your YouTube shorts as well, twice a day. And in all of them, don't add a call to action, like in the sense, like don't have it on the page, like, oh, click my link, because it just kind of kills your reach. It makes you look like way too much of a salesman. Rather, just have the link to your course, not your YouTube channel, but your course, on the links that you can have in your bio on Instagram and TikTok. Have your course there. The reason to have your course and not your YouTube channel, because some people ask me like, why not have YouTube, they can watch it, is because people's content consumption preferences aren't actually as wide as you think. So for example, if someone sees you on Instagram, it's probably because they're an Instagram user and they might use YouTube, but probably not. They're on Instagram right now, so just take them directly to your course from there, rather than thinking, oh, I'll try to convert my Instagram users to YouTube users. The average person uses like all of the platforms, but they have one that they literally spend 80 to 90% of their time on. And if they found you on that platform, it's likely that if you link your YouTube channel, they're not really going to be committed to it. But rather, if you link your course, there's a chance that they buy. So link your course. And what I would say is, don't actually have in the video, like the Instagram reel or the TikTok reel, in the actual video of it or in the caption of it about your course. But if you want to have it in the comments and just type it there. By the way, click the link in my bio with eyes emoji or some shit like that for my extra help, or click the link in my bio to look like a TikTok boy. Like, imagine the dream results your course is helping, like to get to day 90 of NoFap. You'll comment on every reel that you post and maybe pin it at the top. Click the link in my bio to get to day 90 of NoFap. That's because that's a pitch basically, but it won't actually reduce the reach, like the success of that piece of content, because it's not on the content directly. Because if it's on the content directly, it often just looks a bit too salesy and I'll get less views. Then I'd go onto, for example, Twitter, and I'd write 5 tweets a day, short and long, on the topic of my course. And then I might go onto like what other platforms. I even think I heard someone tell me about Snapchat recently. I thought Snapchat was just for children and pedophiles, but it turns out like Snapchat's actually got like its own kind of like content and scrolling and stuff now. If that's the case, I'd even make an account on Snapchat. And again, I wouldn't be randomly posting like fucking party clips or some bullshit there. On Snapchat, I'd still be posting exactly the same topic, right? So getting to day 90 of NoFap, whatever our course is on. But the actual thing you post can be different. So you notice how on YouTube we have like a long unedited video. On Instagram and on TikTok we have like those picture kind of reels that are doing really well. Then on Snapchat it might be something different, or for you it might be different on TikTok, whatever. But it's always educational and it's always on the niche of our course. We're just maximizing volume. So in total, we might post twice a day on YouTube Shorts, twice a day on Instagram Reels, twice a day on TikTok, maybe like twice a day on Snapchat. I don't know how that works. And then 3 times a week on YouTube. And sorry, as well, 5 tweets a day as well. All of it educational, all of it on the course topic. And that's our full-time work. That will honestly, if you're able to streamline it and not fuck around when you're working, that might honestly take you about 2 to 3 hours a day. Then you're wondering, okay, well, I've still got more time. What do I do with the rest of my time? Whatever the topic of your course is, like for example, let's say it's dating or whatever, spend more time learning and actually doing that and becoming good at it in a real life. So it's not going to really feel like work. But let's say if your course is like how to date as like a brown guy, go and cold approach 1,000 girls over the next few months. So you work 3 hours a day making content, sending people to your course, and all the other free time that you have, you make it a goal to go speak to 10, 20 girls, which is insane, by the way, right? So that's you like literally getting dressed, going to the city center and speaking to girls there for like 2-3 hours, which usually would be kind of sad, but if it's for your business, it kind of makes sense because you're getting such a great understanding to pass on to your viewers. That's your full-time work task. If your course is on NoFap, then you spend a few hours a day learning about NoFap, reading books. Maybe you, like, this is weird, maybe it's not a good idea, but maybe you even spend some time watching porn. Not jacking off, of course, not jacking off, but seeing what kind of porn is like popping. Like you scroll on TikTok on like an account that you've kind of like curated the algorithm as like a normal teenager, and you're seeing which girls are popping up, you're seeing the kind of trends that they're doing right now, because that will keep you at the forefront of the addiction. You'll be able to understand and relate to the kind of guys you're helping. If it's with fitness, for example, let's say you're unemployed, you're like 18, 19 years old, you're not in university, you're spending 3 hours a day getting content for your fitness course. You go to the gym for 1 hour, you're like, okay, what else do I do with my time? Go to the gym twice a day, split your workout in half and go separate times in the same day. Because if you go to the gym and do 20 sets of chest, you're gonna be pretty fucking fried after like 10 sets. But if you go to the gym and do 10 sets of chest and it's like literally half an hour long, and then you go again 6 hours later, you feel pretty refreshed, you go and do another 10 sets, you'll make more gains doing that. It's completely impractical, and it wouldn't be like something I'd advise to 99% of people, but if it's literally your work task, it makes sense to do that. It makes sense to go watch an hour of Jeff Nippard's science-based lifters or some shit like that per day to learn what they're doing, and then literally go to the gym and try it. So if you watch a video of of Jeff Nippard, and he's like some science-based YouTuber, and he's saying, oh yeah, this exercise is better than that one. Literally go to the gym just for fun to try that. Imagine being a guy who's at the gym 3 times a day, and the 3rd time you're there, you're literally like, oh yeah, I'm just trying this exercise. I was just going to see how it feels. I'll record myself giving it a try. Because imagine you try it and you're like, oh, that's actually amazing. Then you start teaching people about that new exercise. Or you try it and it was really difficult to set up, didn't feel right, up until you eventually, like, some girl walks past you and she's like, oh, try it this way. You move the bench here, move the plate here, do this with the barbell, whatever. You're like, oh, that's so much better. Then you're like, oh, I actually disagree with this big YouTuber. I'm going to teach my way of doing this new exercise, which is actually way better. Do you see how, like, this is now your work task? So once you've got to the point where the course is set up on the sales page, you're posting a bunch of content which is all related to the course topic, and you're sending people to the sales page, then all the free time you have, if you want to be in work grind, is basically to just become more credible, experienced in the topic of the course, so that you've got more stories and more specific advice to share there. Goodbye. Bye.